You just done it.
No, it's not. But like, see if it moves.
I can't tell from here. Hang on, let me just get close to it again. Excuse me. Thank you. Pick me up. Drop me off. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go, yeah. In this episode of the Oz F1 show, we review Pierre Gasly, really deserving that Red Bull seat probably more than Alex Albon, in episode 6 of season 3 of Netflix's Drive to Survive.
Yep.
It was episode 6. In this episode of The Math Show, Pierre Gasly.
Great. I'm glad Campy's not here for this episode, to be honest.
I
Because-
literally thinking the same thing.
I was like, we'd have to listen to him be insufferable. Pierre is great. Pierre had a great season. We were talking about it during that, watching that episode, that I genuinely think that he performed better in the Red Bull car than Albon did in the Red Bull car. So we went through and we started in Spa,
Yep.
which was, again, touching to see him do his track walk and go past
with Antoine.
where Antoine had passed away and come off the track. So very emotional race for him and probably didn't go as well as he'd hoped, but still great.
Amazing performance. So driver of the day, coming
Yep.
in 8th, starting behind a lot of decent cars too.
Yeah, did really well. And then we were transported straight to Monza where he's the winner.
Yeah.
So we saw throughout the whole season he was very aggressive on his strategies, and this was one of those ones that just paid off. Like perfect timing, track position because he had to pit earlier because of some contact, but not everyone would have pitted at the same time and gone, you know what, we're going to commit to harder tyres for this point. And then, just got the opportunity because Lewis had to serve his stop-go penalty for entering a closed pit lane.
And we spoke about that at length on a podcast of reviewing that Monza race about how the rest of the teams could see that except for Mercedes.
Yeah, and we saw that again.
And what allowed Pierre really to hold it together was the fact that he didn't pit, red flag because of the incident with Charles. And of course, under a red flag, you can change tyres. So he put some new boots on, went to the mediums, got the jump over Lance on the start. And of course, as you said, with Lewis serving the penalty, took the lead, held onto it. And Carlos was very close behind him. But as you said, for that specific race, a wonderful podium because it was not forecast at all.
No.
You had Pierre Gasly from an AlphaTauri with a team that was so emotionally behind him, even for 8th. So when he, was looking at the Spa footage, they were so passionate. And this is what the bigger teams don't have this anymore, but celebrating every sort of victory and every kind of little win, like an 8th place for them.
McLaren and
Fantastic.
Renault were celebrating this year, but we don't see that at Mercedes because it's just all the time.
But they deserved it. That was their home race. And, Ferrari were both out and the other local team, AlphaTauri, coming through and winning. But he performed so well in that space. I think it was probably hard for Danny Kvyat, more so than anyone else, apart from losing his girlfriend to Max Verstappen, is that he knew that his time was kind of up as well. And I think Will Buxton said, no one wants to be an AlphaTauri forever. Like, it's not the dream.
It's not, no.
And it's definitely the junior Red Bull team, even though Karen Horner
Apparently
kept
it's
saying
not.
it's...
No. The other part we
sister.
kind of see in this episode is the Albon struggles.
We still feel bad for Alex, right?
We still feel bad for Alex, and we kind of alluded to it in one of these earlier reviews about this series, where we see Albon and we're like, what if? And you just wonder if he's so far down this kind of performance woes that he just can't dig himself out, and he's not confident, he's struggling, he's then trying too hard, he's making more mistakes. He's just kind of in such a bad way, and you can see it here, he's so defeated because he was ahead of Pierre at the start of this race. They had collision going into the first turn, which is mostly Albon's fault, not Pierre's. He was sandwiched in the middle.
Yeah.
But to win the race as Pierre and to be in 15th as Alex, pretty drastic kind of comparison there in the same kind of opportunity. But we saw how adamant Karen Horner is throughout this whole episode and whole series and all of last year that there was no chance Gasly's coming back.
Can I just say, I actually quite like Christian Horner. It's just the name Karen Horner has stuck a little bit in my mind. And every time I go to say Christian Horner, Karen Horner comes out. So we're not having a go at you, Christian, if you're watching, which of course you are, because it's the Oz F1 show. We genuinely are fans. But the switch between we're behind Alex, and we've just seen the teaser for episode 7 where it's like, we're going to make some decisions about Alex now.
Yep.
So I think it was afforded every opportunity from a management point of view.
Yes.
I don't know necessarily how maybe true that was, or we found it during watching from the outside. But again, Netflix is able to get in behind some closed doors and then obviously release footage later. But what I found really interesting was Horner saying Gasly is not returning at all for Red Bull on the morning of his Monza victory.
Yeah, like poetic.
Isn't it? Just that justice that serves it. But really, it's just another interesting look into the world of Red Bull, and you've got 2 drivers racing for AlphaTauri, both who've been in the Red Bull seat and demoted.
Yeah.
And both of them, and Danny Kvyat performed really well last year. Both of them did. I think Pierre Gasly performed better. You and I both think that.
Yes.
Campy's like, no, Danny Kvyat's better, which is fine. Whatever, he can have that opinion, and he's wrong when he's not here. And he's also wrong when he is here. But that to be able to turn that around for both of them, even though I said I think Danny knew he was kind of on the out, but the culture of the team seems really good.
Yes, I think so. I think it looks like a great place to be. They're so supportive of their driver, and I think they were supportive of Daniel as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the same time.
Yeah.
So I just think they've created a good culture. They've separated themselves culturally from Red Bull, not so much as a hierarchy thing, but definitely as a separate culture. And we're not just a little kid brother down here that does like your bidding. We're actually doing our own stuff our own way. We're going to see how that goes.
And it's cool. And to be honest, I actually like the jackets and stuff.
Kind of look pretty cool.
Not as much as the Minardi wind cheater that Campy's got, of course, which is a fantastic brand by itself.
True. Very true.
But otherwise, another great episode, to be honest. This series is probably my favourite so far because it was a difficult year, 2020, and the drama is real.
Yep.
You know, I know that I said at episode 1, it's hyped up.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of storylines here that are interesting for this season.
So that's episode 6. We've got 4 more. What do you think's coming up?
Well, we know we haven't seen Gunter yet.
No Gunter yet.
And we haven't seen Roman's crash. And I think they're probably going to play in probably to the next episode.
Yep.
And in fact, the next episode is called Gunter's Choice. So we know that episode 7 is looking that way.
Haven't seen any Kimi?
No.
Or Antonio?
The only time we saw Kimi was the very beginning when they're doing the promotional shots at the testing in Barcelona. And he's like just wearing his massive glass. I don't know if they're not Ray-Bans, but it's something else. And it's just like, everyone else is moving and smiling and talking to each other. He's like, he's just dreaming about,
Kimi in low power mode.
He's on standby until someone comes and flicks his switch on again and goes, all right, off you go to the train, you go to the car and then win a race. But so I haven't seen that yet.
No Williams yet?
No Williams yet. And of course, there's a big story about the Williams ownership. They mentioned it very briefly, didn't they?
Glossed over.
And I wonder if that's it.
Yes.
It'd be interesting to find out. But of course, that's all to come on the next episode of the Oz F1 show, where we review episode 7 of season 3 of Netflix's Drive to Survive.